open. What's today? The day's 13th of October. Oh, gosh, I can't remember. All righty. No public is here, unless you want to go sit over there, Craig, and become the public.
No, I'm gonna stay right here.
All righty. There's Nicholas.
Hello.
Hello, Nicholas.
Okay, then we'll go ahead and start with the minutes. Michelle circulated the minutes, and she incorporated my comments. I didn't see any others, but I missed something. She had in there that Dominion would complete their part of middle mile by the end of 2021. It should be 2022.
Well, the middle mile with respect to the first phase, but not the second phase,
And we should add
which
that.
we should add it,
Yeah,
which probably will be closer to 2023. They're on track for 2022.
right. So
For the
maybe we
phase
just
one.
put a little clarification in there.
I'll mark it up and send it to you.
Okay, all right. Other than that, I didn't have any problems with the minutes. Either you or Kevin had any other issues with the minutes?
No.
Okay, you want to make a motion?
Make a motion with the 21 to 22 change, we approve the minutes.
On second? All in favor?
Aye.
That was good.
Nice spreadsheet, Nick. All those
Mhm.
addresses, all those addresses?
Oh, yes.
All righty. Minutes. All right, Nicholas, you're up. APB, Batty Art upgrade?
So APB, there's not too much updates. We did send to the Lancaster County Public Schools the APB proposed site for a cabinet, and
Yeah.
trying to schedule a call with Jessica. I think she was busy last week. Jessica, she wanted to reach out to me and go over some details of that. So we're trying to schedule that. But as of now, everything seems to be okay. I don't think there's any issue with the spot. And it's a small cabinet, it's not a big hut or anything like that. But I did ask APB to send us over some, like, kind of like what is a typical cabinet scenario would look like, so everybody can kind of visualize it and where it's going to go.
That's good.
So
Who is it
that's
that
really not much on all points broadband.
Who is the focal point for APB with that? Who is it that you're
Oh,
scheduling with?
I have to look up the gentleman's name.
Oh, okay, that's all right. I just figured we'd put it in, but doesn't matter. All righty, so good, that's moving. And
Jessica's our official superintendent as of Tuesday,
she is?
right? Tuesday? Wasn't it Tuesday? Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, we had a meeting early. Yeah, it was Monday night.
They moved the meeting, it was Tuesday.
Yeah.
are you sure now?
You're confusing me.
Drink some of that tree. It'll help. Okay, all right, sorry, Nicholas. All right.
That's all right.
How are we doing on Breeze Line and Batty?
Okay, Breeze Line, we're doing very well on the Batty, very good on Batty updates. So DHCD came out to Matthews County last week, and they did a kind of a walkthrough. They wanted to do a review of what was done, how things were going along. So they didn't really just look at construction in Matthews County, because that's where the meeting was. But overall, they're very pleased with the project execution, and they were especially pleased with the communication between Breeze Line and the four counties. I don't think any of the other people that they're dealing with, any of the other counties or organizations they're dealing with, has a weekly meeting, whereas we do between Breeze Line and the four counties. And they commented on that a couple of times. I guess that was very good. They were very pleased with that. So far along, they're pleased with the progress, as am I.
Good.
So I think Kevin alluded to a list of Excel spreadsheet I sent around, and there are actually a couple more addresses on that. So as of today, or yesterday, there are 71 addresses that have been released to customer service. So what happens is when construction is complete in an area, that area then is turned over to their internal technical operations group. The technical operations group then does all the testing and verification and makes sure that everything's to the specs to perform good service. Once that's done and they sign off on it, it then goes to the customer service marketing people, and what they do is, and then they start inputting those addresses into the system as a serviceable address. So we have 71 that have been released and entered into their systems as a serviceable address. And there are 24 that are pending release within a week or two, probably within a week, I should say, not even two. So they're moving along pretty good, at a pretty good pace. Construction is pretty much complete, with the exception of a couple of areas, and they seem to be small, but overall, the main physical construction is pretty much complete. As of today, the number I'm going to tell you seems small of actual customers, Valley customers that are in service, that are in the Valley area, but there's 31 total for all 4 counties. But there's, of the 31 for all 4 counties, 17 of them are in Lancaster County.
Good.
So we're way ahead of the pack when it comes to actually turning up customers. And we're actually ahead of the schedule as far as project completion and the milestones. We have the continuing issue at Beach Cove Villas and Windjammer Lane, which needs to be addressed with the forced main sewer. And that meeting was rescheduled at the request of the homeowners association from the 30th, September 30th to the 14th of this month.
Well, I'll be attending that meeting.
Oh,
Yeah, we'll make sure if the Board of Supervisors hear anything from the property owners, I want to make sure you hear exactly what was said. So I'm going to go make sure both sides.
Yeah.
I'm just there to listen. We have no dog in that fight. It's between.
we really don't have a dog in that fight. There's not much we can do. It's private
No.
property. And,
Right.
I think both sides will come, they're trying to reach I should say agreement, but it's not in disagreement. They're trying to come to a solution to locate the sewers. So their concern, Breeze Line's concern is that it is a pressurized system, and being that close to the water, if they accidentally hit it because it wasn't marked properly, they don't want to dump raw sewage into the water.
Exactly. They're going to put up some money for, to have somebody out there too. They're going to pay for somebody to come and do some work, some helping
Yeah.
find out where these lines are. So they're willing to put money in, but they don't want to pay for the whole thing, which I understand. So the homeowners need to know where their sewer lines are.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think it's because any work that's done in there could jeopardize, could be
Exactly.
an environmental.
Exactly.
Doesn't the county have that information?
There's,
Tell you,
I don't know.
they did go to the county to look, but the things, they think there was a problem with the guy who built the homes. He was not the most reliable type.
Right.
And they found some paperwork, but they couldn't find everything to tell where the lines are. So they don't know if he filed everything he should have filed.
Yeah, because that'd be with the health department, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we've got a pretty good as-built survey for everything above ground, but what's below ground, no.
No.
So,
But doesn't health department?
Health Department would be a good resource for that. I don't know if anybody has talked to them or not.
I'll ask him tomorrow.
Because it's working, right? I mean,
Yeah,
no one's
it's working.
complaining about,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, no
so it
issues.
seems to me
Yeah.
that
Yeah, but
even
you-
like with some sort of ultrasound
You don't want to ditch,
capability, right?
Yeah,
well, you don't want to ditch through a drain field either.
yeah.
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 Well, the alarm system is actually in the parking lot of the boat ramp, because some electrical wires were hit on that when we installed the boat ramp parking lot. So, I mean, that's really all I know about that, 'cause,
All over the place.
yeah.
It's gonna be expensive. Expensive. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry to change it a little bit. Go
No,
ahead.
I think it's more in the interest of the homeowners association that that located. To,
Yeah.
like, prevent any future, any problems in the future, so. There are 2 areas that are, when I say delayed, they're not all construction's complete as far as Breeze Line, but they're waiting for Dominion to power up 2 power supplies to that area. It's one of the Jeep pond fiber to the home areas. And they just kind of changed the process of how they've normally been doing it for the last 10, 15 years. But but it doesn't seem to be a big hiccup. It's just a Breeze Line going through corporate to cut a check to Dominion, which they never had to do before. So it just has to go through the paperwork. But once again, Breeze Line's all done with that construction. It's just a matter of Dominion turning up these power supplies to get power up that system. And that's really, no real alarms with that, just started letting you know, keep you abreast of that. Like I said before, construction activity is complete with the exception of a small few areas, and that's ongoing. It's really just mainly splicing, fiber optic splicing that's going on in the county. I think Bernie told me they have like 5 or 6 splicers now in the area. But they are being, going from one area to another, from one county to another, but we are making very good progress. And that's the update with Breeze Line. If there's any questions.
No, that's good.
On the
me know.
spreadsheet you sent us, the 48 that are not saying pending release, are those the ones that those customers should go apply, or no?
Yeah, they're released.
All right, so they
So
can,
then once they get, and there's kind of I'm sure there's a little bit of a lag. I don't know the exact process, but once it gets inputted into into their system as a searchable address, and then their process, well, what we spoke about months earlier was that then they'll put door hangers up in those areas. And it kind of goes through a marketing group with door hangers. And, obviously they spent, a lot of it was built with grant money, but a lot of it is, match money on their part. And it's, they want to get as many customers as possible also. So I think they're going to be pretty aggressive in signing up customers and reaching out to them to let them know that they're ready.
I have to say, excuse me, Breeze Line's been very responsive. Bill Lee called me, that houses off of, oh gosh. Thank you. They go down, I can't even pronounce the name of that street, something. Maribel? Maribel. Yeah, so I got to Crystal, and she said, give me about 3 days. She wanted to research everything. They're talking. So I don't do anything with them now, that's all for them. But they've been very responsive to anything. We tell them that there's an issue or whatever, people have questions. Very good, so.
And they also went over budget internally on this project, not just for Lancaster County, but for other counties where there was areas where they were having troubles with Dominion pole attachments, and in order not to delay the project, they went underground, which drives the cost up significantly on the outside plant construction. So to date, I think they've been a really good partner in this project.
Okay, we're up to BTS.
BTS, not much of a change of an update from last week. It's the good news, bad news. Good news is they are now up to 262 customers on the fixed wireless broadband cares project as of the 11th of this month. And it's only an increase from, I think it was 258 the last meeting. But I know they are doing some work to reach more customers. So, but once again, we're pretty close to 300. That was the target, and it's increasing every month. I have not heard of any complaints from anybody receiving that service, which is great.
That's good.
It's 262 more customers that didn't have broadband service before, so that's definitely a good thing for the residents.
so to be,
The smart poles, there's not much change. We have a meeting scheduled, I think, next week to find out what's going on, what the strategy is. Thomas Landing and Nutsville are still not in service, and the Cortona site still has low bandwidth. Operational, but very low bandwidth. Mainly due to, they're saying the tree foliage blockage from trees.
so BTS and Eagles Landing, where are those guys at?
I think it's resolved.
They're not here, so I think that's good, right?
Yeah, that's
They're
what I was,
not
I was
showing
trying
up,
to.
so
I didn't want to say anything.
I think it's.
No, there's really, we haven't had any,
Well,
I don't.
no issues with the fixed wireless project.
All right, so,
Cassie, have you heard anything?
no, that, I haven't heard nothing, and typically we see them
Yeah.
at least, so
No,
I just wanted to check if we needed to worry about
Yeah.
I do think the front doors are locked. So
That's the way to do it.
Could be the pitchfork militia out there, man.
Okay. Oh, anything else? That's all we have really on the agenda,
Are you serious?
On the open agenda.
on the open agenda. We have a closed session.
The side doors are open, but the front door is locked. And nobody stand outside, so
No, they always talk.
We weren't beating the doors down.
Okay, the only thing then is admin for the BOS meeting, that illustrious 5 gentlemen who sit up here so well on the 27th. And-
Did you get it all off? Okay.
Oh, you're going to do the 27th?
Sure.
Awesome,
Kevin.
thank you.
All right, anything else? Or anything from you, Craig? for the open
Nothing
meeting?
I can think of right now.
Nobody's blowing you up?
No, not on broadband.
Oh, that's good.
You
That's
heard
good.
anybody messaging you?
Some people still ask about the 84 homes that were kind of lost, but, the response I've been given is that hopefully APB and/or Breeze Line will pick those up.
Yes, and we don't know that there's truly 84 people who are
Yeah,
lost. So I
yeah.
think that it's important that the messaging shift.
Yeah.
And hopefully by the end of November, we'll have a very good sense of exactly who's not covered. Even the NTIA report that I sent around the other day shows, that there are more people being served than believed, and they've got better identification who's unserved. So I don't think that we can honestly sit here and say that there are 84 people in Lancaster that will not have service.
Yeah,
right?
Bill Lee on the board has asked, because he sits on our Lancaster 2035 committee as well, he said, can we just stop talking about the 84?
Oh, good, good for him. Yeah, I mean, I think, sometimes people pick up on something and then it keeps
Yeah.
getting repeated when it's not actually factual.
Yeah. The other thing.
Well, the 84 are being covered by this project, these two projects, right? So they're
Right.
covered under, two other towers, two other RDOF winners. And and also the list I sent around to the board members that showed the addresses that are now the customer service. The latest one, they flagged, I think it's maybe 4 or 5 addresses
There were
that
houses.
they show up as addresses in the system when they built the Valley Grant, but there's actually no building or structure at that address.
Which is the
So
reason
so
for the new.
once again, we're gonna have to Cherie's point, we're gonna have to flush this out and then just find out what the real data is and see what where we are. But the data going into it certainly isn't perfect, and it's pretty darn good. But we'll just flush it out and figure out what where we are. And there's a couple of other addresses that were missed, I know, that they added. So there's gonna be some puts and takes.
The only other question I get from it's our Lancaster 2035 committee, is there any information from APB about their timeline when they move into Lancaster in early 2023 and start that last mile installation? Do we know anything from APB about, where they're going to start at in the county or anything like that?
Well, I think that's partly driven by the middle mile. So
Yeah.
the hearing was held at the State Corporation Commission for Dominion, and there's a recommendation to approve their increase for the Lancaster King William piece that the funding hadn't been approved. The State Corporation Commission is recommending approval of what they presented at the hearing. I think it was September 19th. The order's not out yet, but if the order looks like the pre-hearing statement by the senior hearing officer, that'll be approved. Dominion says they're on track for the first phase. All the other counties, with the exception of King William, Lancaster, and Thomas Jefferson, I think it's tribal territory or something, that's been added, which this additional approval was for. And it's not that it's delayed or anything, it's just that it got added after the fact. 'Cause
Right.
remember, we weren't
Right,
in
right.
before.
Right.
Then we got in, and they're saying the first phase they have a high degree of confidence that will be completed on time. It's being built now.
Yeah.
And then they're moving to with this approval, to the rest of the middle mile. The laterals that APB is going to be putting in to bring the service to the end users will come off that middle mile. And I would think that early in 2023, based upon what Dominion's saying, that you'll start to see construction from APB. And
Right.
they could probably confirm that, but they're, Dominion's sort of taking the lead of deploying its middle mile, and then it's gonna deploy that. I mean, I guess it could be deploying from the home to the middle mile, but I'm not sure that that would make sense.
Yeah. But I mean, we don't know in general, are they gonna start at the northern end of the county, in the
No.
middle of the county,
They
the
haven't
eastern
said,
end?
and maybe we can find out, I doubt they'll tell us.
That might be
But we-
driven by the middle mile, though, too,
Yeah.
right?
The logical sense is Dominion's biggest switching station's down Caratoman, that one right there beside the old Civic Center, Ogden Civic Center. So they're probably gonna try to get to that first before anything else. That's
Where's the
just,
Civic Center?
it's not even, it's an old school building, they call it a Civic
I
Center.
was like, wow.
Yeah.
We have a Civic Center.
Yeah.
Private residence center.
I need to read more.
Yeah.
But I mean, if logically, they're gonna go to service that spot first, so they're gonna probably start construction down 354.
Okay, well, that's the most underserved area at that end of the county.
We've got an article that's gonna go out soon, as approved by APB and Breeze Line, putting them all in there, and BTS. We don't have to get their approval. And according to Jimmy Carr, the CEO, they're going to start in Lancaster at the end of the first or the second quarter
Yeah.
of next year, and they do plan on finishing in December. So we got a date,
I know,
timeframe.
I know, they're,
That's soon.
they're gonna roll
Yeah.
to get that done.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they are. Well, I got a lot of questions when I first came on the board about this, but with the information that's going out, it seems like I don't get as many questions. Now, I think doing a better job of getting the information out so people know, even if it's in the future, just so they know what's happening, I think that helps a lot.
Well, as soon as I can get these over to APB and Breeze Line and get it back, it'll go out in the paper.
One thing that I had a question on, Gary, a few meetings ago, Gary had like a map.
That's been added to the website.
That's on our.
Is that on the
Yes.
website? That's what I wanted to know. I looked at the website today, but
There's
I
a
didn't
link.
find it, but anyway.
This is linked.
It's like, you got the links across the top, and I wanna say it's like the 5th or 6th one.
Okay,
Click on it, and then under there it says
okay.
If you go to
broadband
the
providers.
projects,
Yeah, that's what I
Projects.
wanted.
and then the links are under there. I added those before the last meeting in September.
Okay, that's good, because if somebody asked me, I wanted to be able to say, well, hey, there's a place you can look about some information.
And the thing that's nice about those links is it also links to the state mapping project as well as the FCC matching
Okay.
project.
Does it doesn't put, though, any estimated timelines on
No.
that, does it? I
No,
didn't
but it
think
does
so.
tell them what provider will be available
Yeah.
in that area,
Yeah,
so.
okay, good.
Do I hear a dog? Is that, no?
I heard
Maybe,
it.
maybe Nick's dog.
Nick, do you have a dog?
No.
Oh,
Anything else you want to know about?
Is it anybody else? I heard-
Glenn has a puppy.
I
under
heard it
his-
too.
Yeah,
I did
It
hear it,
wasn't
but-
just me, right?
No, I heard it.
Okay.
The mystery dog.
And he's our mascot.
I heard it too.
Any other questions, or,
No, that's the questions I usually get. And I do get the question about the map, but y'all just addressed that.
maybe we'll put that in the article to remind people.
Yeah, that would be
To go to
good.
or put the link.
Yeah,
Yeah.
put the link in
We
the
could maybe
article.
put the links from the website too, because then they get the benefit of Virginia's updates.
Yeah, for a while there, I was getting a lot of questions about that, and I haven't gotten as many in the last 3 months, but you all been putting out more information about it.
As
I
well
think
as the
that helps.
providers are putting out a lot of
Yeah.
Yeah.
information. They're under a lot of pressure because of the Affordable Connectivity Program
Right.
to get it out to the people.
When I put, I gave the library, some of those flyers, and I was talking to Alice Cooper, the director, and I said, were
There's a
people
name.
interested? I know, you should see her car, her license.
I
plate.
loved Alice Cooper. I just
Focus,
thought he gave
focus,
the best-
focus.
Sorry. I just thought he was
We're
great.
getting off course here, aren't we, Kevin? We went
bringing
right
me
in,
back.
right in the ditch in a hurry, didn't we?
I was talking to the director of the library,
Okay.
who who shall remain unnamed. I said, were people interested? She said, we're out of them. She said, they just flew out. So I took
Oh,
her
nice.
another 30 or 40, and, which is good. And I gave some to the link, because they see people who
Mm-hmm.
obviously need that kind of help. So it's out there. It's out there. And I don't know where you put them in the schools, but the
No,
school has.
well, the schools, we went to Boys and Girls Club with ours, remember?
Right, went to Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah, so, the schools, we just put them on the front desk.
Okay.
I think people seeing all the Dominion trucks on the side of the road
Oh, yeah.
hanging the wire helped a
Oh,
lot, too.
Yeah.
And
Mass
remember
Tech.
that week with all
Mass
the-
Tech was everywhere.
Oh, gosh, yeah. And
Everywhere.
You remember a few weeks ago, Breeze Line, you couldn't go down a road without a Breeze Line truck, and they were right out here in your parking lot.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
that's
pretty
a big deal.
exciting. It's also exciting to drive down here and see all the UPS trucks, the FedEx trucks, and every now and then some Amazon trucks.
Yeah.
You been through Farnham lately?
What's that?
You been through Farnham lately?
To what?
You been through Farnham lately?
Yeah.
Yeah, you see the old service center, Mass Tech has taken over
Yeah,
as an
yeah,
office, and then the old service center across the street, all their personal cars are parked, so they're,
I've seen their trucks back, like, around that tower back there.
yeah, they were
Okay.
parking them there at
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
Richard Thomas owns
Yeah.
all that,
Okay.
so.
That's a lot.
It's working.
Yeah, I'll just add this real quick. I talked with the Director of General Services for Loudoun County, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, and they actually own land in Lancaster County. He was telling me that Lancaster County is way far more advanced in providing broadband than even Loudoun County is to their
Really?
extremities. So, I mean, that's good.
We're ahead of the curve.
Yep.
We get to
We
close
want to be a
shop in like
poster
2
child.
years.
Yeah.
It
That's
can be
good.
done.
That's something Jimmy Carter, as he goes and talks to all those biggies, should say. Send him a note and
Yeah.
tell him that.
Yeah,
You know
that's-
Jimmy, he'll
Yeah.
tell it.
Yeah.
So tell it on the mountain.
On a side note, we passed our audit.
Oh, I did see that, yeah.
Yes.
No, that's great, for the CARES Act.
No, our audit for the
Oh, the
normal
general.
every year
Oh,
audit.
the full audit.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're in the process of doing it. We provided all the information, and I haven't heard anything back, so no news is good news.
Right.
So,
I guess I was focused on one thing that Gary sent around.
yeah, that was the closeout on was that the closeout on the planning grant?
Yeah, the
DHCD?
very first one.
Yeah, oh,
that we
yeah,
went.
yeah,
That
that's
one.
right.
First one.
Yeah,
Look how long it took.
I know.
Yeah, yeah. But
Well,
it's
3
done.
years, 4 years?
Government.
The wheels of government turn slow.
And then you
Crushed
gotta
everything
deal
in
with
the
a
way.
bunch of damn accountants.
Oh, I'm just so glad. I sent him a note.
But we know some.
What's that?
We know some accountants.
Oh, well, I am one. so
I
that's
know,
why I say
that's
that.
who I was referring to.
That's why I'm pointing that at myself, so.